Hey, hey, groovy decimal multipliers. This is part 2 of the Unit 4 review. It's a little bit shorter. Yay! We're just going to look at some straight naked number decimal multiplication. Here we have 8 7/10 multiplied by 3, and we're going to work this just like a regular shortcut method. And at first, we're not even going to notice the decimal. 7 times 3 is 21. We'll carry the 2 and use grouping above. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 more is 26. Now, we can't actually believe that 8 7/10 times 3 could be 261. It doesn't even make sense. So this is where we do pay attention to the decimal. Notice the decimal is only in one of the factors, and notice that it only moves one place to the right. We've only got one place value to the right. However many place values to the right we see in the factors, that's how many we'll see total in the product. And since we only have one here, that means we're only going to see one digit of place value to the right in the product as well. Now, it makes some sense that 8.7 times 3 could be 26.1, because if we were to estimate, we'd take that 8.7, we'd round it to 9, and 9 times 3 is, as you know, 27, which shows us, aha, my product is reasonable. This answer makes sense. Hooray for estimation. So let's take a look at a multiplication where both factors are decimal numbers. And this time I'm going to run it as a groups below shortcut. You can do it either way. We'll end up at the same place. I'm going to start out with my rightmost digit, in this case this 10th place 5. 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 6 is 30. Everything's pretty much the same so far. Oh, I'm not even going to need to do groups above or below. Since I've finished with this place value, I'm going to put a 0 in to show, okay, I'm moving one place value to the left for my multiplication. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 6 is 42. And now I have my two partial products that I'm going to need to add for a total product. Now, there's no way two numbers that are near 6 and 7 are going to become 4,575 as a product when we multiply them. It just doesn't make sense. That's why, again, we've got to pay attention to those decimals. Each factor here has one digit of value to the right of the decimals. When we put that together, we can say, okay, so if our factors have a total of 2 digits to the right of the decimals, that means our product will as well. So I'm going to move over 2 places, and 45 75 hundredths is my likely product. Again, I can check my thinking on this by rounding and estimating. 6 1/10 would round to 6. 7 5/10 is going to round to 8. 6 times 8 is 48. And 48 is pretty close to 45 75 hundredths. It definitely seems that our product is reasonable. Finally, let's look at some problem solving. If Max is collecting 80 aluminum cans and the typical weight of an aluminum can is 14 2/10 grams, we want to know how much did his cans weigh altogether. So we're looking at 80 groups of 14 2/10. I need to move my multiplier over. Actually, I'm going to move some other things over. While I might write the equation as 80 groups of 14 2/10, I think for multiplying purposes, I'm definitely going to put my 14 2/10 as my top factor, just to make my life a little bit easier. One of the great things about this particular situation is we're multiplying by a tens base number, 80, so that means that I can put a 0 here to show that 142 times 0 is 0. And we're done with our ones place multiplication. Now I can move forward with, and I'm going to do groups above here. 8 times 2 is 16. I'm going to carry that 1 over to the next place value digit spot. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. And again, I'm going to have to carry that over. And 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, 14 times 80 is probably not going to reach such lofty heights as the number that we see here. So we have to pay attention to the decimal. The decimal here is one place, there's one digit to the right, and there's no decimal in the other factor. But that means I've got to move a decimal in one digit over. And when I look at that, I realize, oh, okay, I don't really need that because what I have is a whole number answer. I've got 1,136. So what's my answer going to be? It's going to be 1,136 grams. Don't forget that label when you're problem solving. Watch again. Do extra practice problems. Check with a calculator if you don't have anybody else handy to help you out. Good luck. Later.